Cemre Arda's candid words about Gökberk Yıldırım have set the internet buzzing, and wherever you're watching from, welcome to Secrets Behind the Stars. Before we dive deep, your support means everything. Subscribe and stay close, because tonight's conversation is one you won't want to miss. The line everyone is quoting from Cemre? She shut down every whisper with calm confidence. There's no chill between them, no quarrel, no resentment, only respect, teamwork, and real admiration. Here's what happened. At a glitzy event last night, reporters surrounded Cemre with the same loaded question that's been floating around all week. What's really going on between her and Gökberk on the set of Esref Rüya? Rumors had been bubbling, talk of distance, of a clash during a heavy scene, of frosty exchanges when the cameras weren't rolling. But Cemre's answer landed like a clean, steady note that cleared the room. She said there's no gap, no bad blood, and that she's truly happy to be working with Gökberk. She went further, praising his talent and discipline, and hinted that every day on set with him teaches her something new. It wasn't a quick denial, it was a thoughtful, measured response that felt grounded in the way only the truth does. But she didn't stop there. She painted a vivid picture of the Esref Rüya set, a place of intense schedules, heartfelt storylines, and long nights where stamina and harmony are everything. According to her, the cast and crew have formed a unit that breathes together. Respect is the rule, not the exception. In an industry where friction finds oxygen in every shadow, she described a team that actually cares, about the work, about each other, about the story they're building. That kind of peace is rare, and Cemre made it sound not just possible, but real. Of course, peace doesn't always trend. No sooner had clips of her interview surfaced than social media split down familiar lines. Some applauded her sincerity, while a chorus of skeptics wondered if the compliments were a little too polished, a little too emphatic. The chemistry between Cemre and Gökberk as Nisan and Esref has been so magnetic that people keep squinting at the edges, searching for something more, either a secret rift or an off-screen blaze. It's a paradox. When on-screen emotions feel that true, fans start digging for proof that it's spilling into reality. Then came the remark that truly turned heads. Cemre, smiling but serious, admitted, in essence, that she knows she brings up Gökberk often, and still she can't help herself. His discipline deserves to be acknowledged, his commitment deserves to be seen. She spoke about how he crafts Esref with patience and detail, shaping a man torn between a shadowed past and a fragile hope. She described his approach with a respect that felt personal, but never careless. It wasn't flattery, it was admiration shaped by long days and shared scenes. Let's step back and look at why this resonates. Esref Rüya has become the conversation of the season, trending week after week thanks to a script that leans into love, guilt, and redemption, and two leads who can hold a close-up like it's a confession. Cemre's Nisan is all heart and steel, a woman who loves fiercely and hurts quietly. Gökberk's Esref is a storm trying to learn its own edges. Put them in the same frame and something electric happens. You can feel the trust in their timing, how she breathes when he pauses, how he listens when she softens. That unspoken sync rarely lies, and it's probably the strongest chord pulling viewers in. As the interview ricocheted across feeds, the commentary exploded. One viewer swore that Cemre's eyes give away the depth of her respect for Gökberk. Another insisted that you don't talk like that about a colleague unless there's a deeper alignment. And then, as always, came the alternate take. Was all this warmth just part of the campaign for the new arc? Is the affection we're seeing purely professional, engineered to feed the machine? I'll say this, Cemre's tone didn't sound manufactured. It sounded like the ease that only arrives when a set really does feel safe. When two actors know they can lean into a scene and the other will catch them. Now let's talk about Gökberk's presence, because that is a story by itself. He's in a streak where his choices feel bolder, his range wider, and he walks onto set with the quiet of someone who's already rehearsed the hard parts alone. People close to the production say he rarely makes noise when the cameras are off. He observes, he refines, and then, when the slate claps, he fills the room. Cemre has reportedly asked his insight on certain scenes, not because she doubts herself, but because she values how he hears the rhythm of a moment. That kind of exchange doesn't compete, it lifts. And audiences can feel when the two leads are trading oxygen rather than attention. As for the whispers of a blow-up during an intense scene, Cemre answered them without blinking. Not only did she deny any resentment, she moved beyond denial into something warmer, speaking of a friendship that has become its own anchor. People on set echo the same. Between takes, the two of them are said to share music, compare notes, and reset over coffee. Cemre's spark meets Gökberk's calm halfway, and that balance shows up on screen. Contrast can clash, or it can complete. Here, it completes. All of this makes the next episodes even more anticipated. If the trust is that strong behind the camera, the scenes ahead, especially the ones where Esref has to face the ghosts he's been dodging, are going to draw blood in the best cinematic way. Word is that Nisan will be pushed into choices that strip her down to the core, and that Cemre's work in those moments is already generating a quiet, reverent buzz among those who've seen the rough cuts. You can forgive almost anything in a story when the two people at the center of it are fully present with one another. Meanwhile, the fandom is doing what fandoms do best, dissecting frames, cataloging glances, and turning interviews into evidence boards. On Instagram, under #Esrefruya, it's a collage of theories. Many see in Cemre's tone the confidence of a woman who trusts her partner both in the scene and out of it. Some wonder if the praise is a little too glittering to be purely spontaneous. But if you've watched long enough, you know the truth usually looks simple when it finally arrives. And what Cemre offered last night was simple: work, respect, harmony. Crew members say the pair often run lines together right before stepping onto the mark, finding a shared pulse that the director has apparently praised more than once. She's commented that Gökberk can give a single sentence 10 shades of meaning, bending it slightly to match the moment rather than forcing the moment to match him. That's the sort of thing an actor notices best, because it's the language they speak beneath the dialogue, the grammar of silence and breath. Naturally, the magazines dove in. Headlines ranged from Cemre Arda's tender words for Gökberk Yıldırım to are the sparks of their romance shining even brighter on set? The coverage only fanned the flames, though the fuller listen to Cemre's interview leans toward deep respect rather than a display of private sentiment. She sounded like an artist praising another artist, even if the public knows there's more to their bond than cooperative scene work. But honesty time, when these two share the screen, the light does something it doesn't do for everyone. There's another layer here, and it's Cemre's own evolution. Over the last few years, her presence in interviews has shifted. Where once she might have sidestepped a loaded question, now she meets it with poise and clarity. She chooses her words, but she doesn't hide inside them. When she says there's harmony and no resentment, she isn't just defending herself or Gökberk, she's protecting the atmosphere that allows the team to do good work. She's learned how to be both honest and protective, and that balance is the hallmark of someone who's grown up under a very bright light without letting it burn her. Will Gökberk respond? If he does, expect something brief and sincere. He's never been one for long speeches about the process, preferring to let the work explain the rest. But when the moment calls for it, he's gracious. A simple, "Cemre is invaluable, we work in rhythm," would be very him. And yes, that single sentence would probably go viral in an hour, because when two people command this kind of attention, even their quiet words echo. So let's gather the threads. Cemre Arda addressed the noise around her and Gökberk Yıldırım with calm assurance. She said there's no distance, no grudge, only gratitude for the work and admiration for her partner's craft. She spoke warmly of a set that functions as a team. She acknowledged, almost with a laugh, that she keeps bringing Gökberk up because some people deserve to be mentioned more than once. And in doing so, she invited us to look past the rumor mill and see the thing that actually matters: two professionals building something together, brick by brick, with patience and care. But I won't pretend the speculation will stop. Viewers will keep reading between the lines, because that's part of the fun. Still, the performance doesn't lie. If the atmosphere is fractured, it shows. If it's whole, that shows too. Watch the scenes where Nisan stares down an impossible choice, where Esref reaches for redemption and finds only the edge of it. Watch how they listen to each other. Listening is the clue. It's also the miracle. Before I go, I have to circle back to that one sentence that's still humming through the feeds. Cemre essentially admitted that she keeps returning to Gökberk in conversation because she can't help it. That isn't PR, that's human. When someone elevates your work, your instinct is to say thank you publicly, even if you've already said it privately 100 times. And if that gratitude gets spun into gossip, well, that might be the price of making art in front of millions. Now it's your turn. Do you hear Cemre's remarks as strictly professional, or do you hear the steady heartbeat of something more, something that has learned how to protect itself while it creates? Drop your thoughts, argue your theories, and tell me which scene in SRF Rüya made you believe in their connection most fiercely. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to Secrets Behind the Stars, because we follow the glow and the shadow, the rumor and the reality, every single week. Until the next deep dive, keep your eyes open and your heart ready. When Cemre and Gökberk step into frame, anything can happen, and lately, it usually does.